Litigation lawyer Victor Zamet's cross-examination of Professor Stephen Hawking on the claim by Prof. Hawking that there is no afterlife. It is submitted that the following is what a cross-examination of Professor Stephen Hawking would be like. The answers given by Professor Hawking have been taken from his website and from other media reports about things he said and imputed. Below, any words in capital refers to putting emphasis on that word. Courtroom scene. Professor Hawking, pictured below, in the witness box being sworn in. Judge, looking towards his attendant, swore the witness in. Court assistant addressing expert witness Professor Hawking, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Pro Hawking, I don't believe in God. Judge to court attendant, proceed with that affirmation, an oath designed for atheists. Victor, friendly, smiling, how are you, Professor? You feel all right? Professor, yes, I do. Why do you ask? Victor, I want to establish for the purpose of the record that whilst there are problems with your body, you are in a good state of mind to answer all questions. Right? Professor, yes, I'm in an excellent state of mind. Victor, good. Tell us, Professor. Are you intelligent? Professor, yes, I suppose I am. Victor, would you agree that some scientists who agree with your theories say that you are extremely intelligent? In fact, some scientists even call you a genius. Professor, I'll leave that to those scientists who call me that. Victor, but have you come across scientists who described you as a genius, yes or no? Prof, yes. Victor, what kind of a scientist are you? Prof, I am a theoretical physicist. Victor, what do you mean by that? Prof, I study theoretical physics, especially cosmology. Victor, you are famous for your cosmic theories. So when you come to conclusions about cosmology, you first investigate? Prof, yes, that's absolutely right. Victor, do you ever come to conclusions about some aspect of the universe without first having studied it? Prof, no, of course not. That would be ridiculous. I cannot make conclusions unless I first study the area. I'm a scientist. Victor, but being a theoretical physicist specializing in cosmology, would you not agree that some of what you conclude about the universe is theoretical, is speculative, since you cannot duplicate your results in a laboratory? Prof, hesitating, yes, I guess that's right. Victor, for example, you mention black holes, and what they do. But that is only speculative, because you have never seen the full operation of a black hole. You are speculating, right? Prof, I suppose so, but I can show you why I'm right. Victor, but you can never guarantee that your conclusions on black holes are absolute and irreversible, that they are 100% correct, right? Prof, softly, I guess yes, that's right. Victor, you said earlier you are qualified in theoretical physics. Professor, are you qualified in law? Do you have a law degree? Prof, of course not. Victor, so you do not have the professional expertise to know what technically constitutes admissible evidence and the process of litigation. Prof, as I said, I don't have any knowledge of law or of litigation procedure. Victor, this means that a litigation lawyer would have the professional expertise about what is admissible in evidence as objective and subjective evidence more than a theoretical physicist, right? Prof, I guess so. It's quite obvious to me. Victor, your answer is yes. Professor, yes. Victor, are you qualified in medicine? Prof, of course not. Looks at the judge and asks, Your Honor, do I have to answer these questions? Victor, Your Honor, the question of objective authority is critical in this matter. Judge, yes, I understand. Answer the question. Prof, no, I'm not qualified in medicine. Victor, Professor, are you formally qualified in architecture, engineering, biology, advanced chemistry, advanced philosophy? Prof, no, I'm not qualified in any of these except I know something about chemistry. Victor, you agree then that your only area of professional expertise is in the narrow area of theoretical physics, in cosmological science, yes? Prof, hesitating. Victor, answer the question, Professor, yes or no. Prof, yes, my expertise is only in theoretical physics, in cosmology. Victor, would you be familiar with what is objective evidence and subjective evidence? Prof, yes, I would be. Victor, would you agree that what is scientific is consistent with using the same formula over time and space, keeping variables constant, and getting the same results? Prof. Yes, I agree with that. Victor, by contrast, would you agree that a personal belief, such as blind faith, which cannot be independently supported, would in itself be subject to invalidation, to complete invalidation, yes or no? Prof. Yes, I agree with that. Victor, so, you agree that any statement you make, as a layperson, could be absolutely wrong? Yes? Prof. I guess so, yes. Victor, do you make mistakes as a scientist, Professor? Prof. I've made mistakes in the past. Victor, do you make mistakes when you make statements not related to your theoretical science? Prof. Everybody makes mistakes. Victor, your answer is yes. Prof. Yes. Victor, so, you accept that you make mistakes as a scientist and when you make statements as an unscientist, right? Prof. Right, yes. Victor, from what you said, you can see that you can make statements as a layperson or a scientist that could be absolutely incorrect, they could be wrong? Prof. I suppose so. Victor, you were quoted in the media recently that you do not accept the existence of the afterlife, is that correct? Prof. Yes, that's correct. Victor, would you accept that cosmological theoretical physics has absolutely nothing to do with knowledge about the afterlife? Prof. Yes, I accept that. Victor, you agree that the two are completely independent and totally separate from each other and are inevitably unrelated? Prof. Yes, that's right. Victor, so, does being an expert in scientific cosmology give you any authority whatsoever whether or not the afterlife exists? Prof. No, it does not. Victor, you are also on record for stating words to the effect those who accept the afterlife are likely to be afraid of the dark. You said that? Prof. Yes, I said that too. But, Victor, don't say but, no qualification, and no justification to the answer, please. Again, answer yes or no to my question. Did you say those who accept the afterlife are likely to be afraid of the dark? Prof. Yes. Victor, I remind you, you are under oath. Listen carefully. Have you ever investigated the evidence for the afterlife, Professor? Yes or no, please. Prof. No. Victor, no. Just a while ago you called someone who comes to conclusions without first investigating a fool and ridiculous. Are you a fool and ridiculous? Prof. No answer. Victor, no need to answer that. The jury accepts you've answered that already. Have you ever asked your research assistant, or anybody else, what literature is available about the afterlife? Prof. No, I have not. Victor, have you ever read the classic Afterlife Research? A lawyer presents the case for the afterlife, presenting some 20 areas of afterlife evidence. Prof. No, I have not. Victor, do you know, Professor, that the afterlife evidence in this book by litigation lawyer, in 11 years has never been rebutted by any materialist genius scientist, not even for the allurement of $1 million. Prof. No, I don't know that. Victor, how would you like to earn a cool $1 million, Professor? Prof. What do I have to do? Victor, you only have to rebut the evidence for the existence of the afterlife presented by that lawyer. Got the courage? Maybe. Victor, what's the matter, Professor? Are you an intellectual coward, or have you been professional negligent, or both, when it comes to the afterlife? Judge, Professor, you do not have to answer that question. Victor, you don't have to. I accept the jury also accepts that the professor answered that question already. Prof. I'm not an intellectual coward. Victor, do you think it is right for you to create havoc in this world without being responsible for what you say and do? Prof. Does not answer. Victor, some intellectuals and others would call that cowardice pushed to its extreme. Agree with that, Professor. Prof. Does not answer. Victor, we are waiting. All right, we'll let the jury answer that for us with their verdict. Have you done any research about the afterlife? Prof. No. Victor, why not? Too lazy. Prof. I'm not lazy. Victor, why then did you not bother to review the most fundamental and substantive scientific evidence for the afterlife before you made a conclusion about something you know absolutely nothing about? Prof. No answer. Victor, you shock all of us with your afterlife knowledge. You stated earlier that professional litigation lawyers are the professionals who know what is admissible objective and subjective evidence. Right? Prof. Yes, right. Victor, then why didn't you investigate the works of the lawyer who presented the evidence for the afterlife, someone with professional expertise about admissible evidence for the afterlife? Prof. Silent. Victor, Your Honor. Judge, yes, yes. Professor, answer the question. Prof. Silent. Judge, I will hold you in contempt unless you answer the question put to you. Prof. I admit I did not do any research about the afterlife. Victor, just assume for one moment that the 100 or so scientists who accepted the objective and repeatable evidence for the afterlife are right. Would you accept the evidence for the existence of the afterlife? Prof. I would have to examine the evidence. Victor, just answer yes or no to that question. Prof. I would have to answer yes, I guess. Victor, have you come across a recent book by British scientist Ron Pearson, Why Physics Proves God? Professor, no, I have not. Victor, have you read the brilliant physicist Sir Oliver Lodge's masterpiece, Why He Accepts the Afterlife? Prof. No, I have not. Victor, have you ever read about the materialization experiments of that great scientist Sir William Crookes which led him to accept the evidence for the existence of the afterlife? Prof. No, I have not. Victor, have you read the brilliant work of Professor Jan W. van der Sande's afterlife research? Prof. No, I have not. Victor, have you ever read the most brilliant proof for the afterlife we have in the world today, David Thomson's Miracle Materializations, where the evidence is objective and repeatable? Prof. No, I have not. Victor, you haven't? Why not? Prof. does not answer. Victor, never mind, the jury heard you answering that one. Have you ever read Arthur Findlay's great works on his empirical evidence for the afterlife? Prof. No, I have not. Victor, have you read the most impressive scientific afterlife research of Professor Ernst Zinkowski? Prof. No, I have not. Victor, then what clearly follows is that you do not have authority about the afterlife, right? A lawyer presents the case for the afterlife. http www.victorzamet.com. Part 2 of the cross-examination of Professor Stephen Hawking follows next video.